Good morning. The news at dawn. Oyetola vows to continue to deliver electioneering promises. Impeached Ekiti Speaker alleges threats to life. Supreme Court orders retrial of Ogun PDP governor's suit. Java quake kills 162 and injures hundreds in Indonesia. The immediate past Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi says the achievement recorded by Governor Adegboyega Ochola within 4 years of his first term will continue to be enduring legacies in the history as he has set the state on the path of socio-economic pedestal and sure footing. In what appears like a season of road infrastructure revolution in the last few weeks, the Osun State government has once again inaugurated a network of roads in the state as commissioned by Dr. Fayemi in Osogbo, the state capital. The newly completed roads inaugurated were Osogbo Agubelewo, Okini Ilobu Ifon Osun, and Osogbo Kelebe Ibragwiji roads. Inaugurating the newly completed roads, the former chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum applauded Oyetola for keeping faith with his electoral promises, even in the face of daunting socio-economic challenges. Dr. Fayemi, who described Oyetola as a man loved by all, said his exceptional character vis-a-vis socio-political wizardry has been a veritable source of inspiration to many. Most importantly, his governor colleagues, noting that prosperity will be kind to him as he journeys through to serve the state more than ever before. In his remarks, Governor Adegboyega Ochola recited his avowed commitment to continuously unleash infrastructure development on the state as a catalyst for the industrial revolution in parts of the administration's efforts at actualizing the dream to making Osun the economic and industrial hub of the Southwest. Earlier in his welcome address, Commissioner for Works and Transport, Engineer Remi Omowaye, said the state decided to construct the road despite the fact that it is owned by the federal government because of its socio-economic impact on the people of the state. The Osun State governorship election petition has resumed with the appearances of petitioners' witnesses. The expert witness for the first and second petitioners informed the tribunal that he conducted analysis of the Beavers report on the July 16 governorship election. An expert witness, Isaka Olariwaju, told Osun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal that he established irregularities in the result used to declare the candidate of People's Democratic Party, Ademola Adeleke, as the governor-elect by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. He said he came to that conclusion after analyzing the result forms for the election and comparing them with the bimodal voters accreditation system, BVAS. The witness, who was led in evidence by the petitioner's counsel, Chief Akinolu Jemisan, said he relied on forms EC8A, EC8B, EC8C, EC8D, EC8E, and Beaver's report released by INEC to arrive at his findings. Witness also cross-examined by counsel for Adeleke Onyechi Impeazo and counsel for the PDP Alex Izion. Earlier, the tribunal has granted an application by Oyetola's counsel asking to amend the list of witnesses filed before the panel by including the acronym used to represent their names. The hearing continues today. Osun State government has announced the appointment of Prince Adegboyega Famodo as the new Owa of Igbajo in Buluwaduro local government area of the state. This was contained in the statement by the Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Funke Gbomode. To be recalled that the stool of Owa of Igbajo became vacant following the demise of Oba Olufemi Fashade on 23rd December 2020. Prince Famodo was unanimously selected as the sole candidate of the Owa Okeodo ruling house at a meeting held on 11th November 2022. Until his appointment as the Owa elect, Prince Famodo was the chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Osun State. Osun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has directed its members and supporters to embark on fasting and prayers to ensure successful transition of power from the outgoing administration of the All Progressives Congress on November 27th. In a statement by the state caretaker chairman Akindele Adekunle. The party instructed members to go to their mosque, churches and the places of worship to seek divine support as the state moves towards transition of power. He called on party members to be peaceful and hold fast to God as the move to the last phase of their political struggle. He also called on the Inspector General of Police to deeply monitor developments in the state and report surveillance team to ensure a seamless change of government on Sunday. The crisis rocking the Ogun State chapter of the PDP has deepened with the Supreme Court dismissing an appeal filed before it on the nomination of the party's governorship candidate. The Apex Court consequently ordered that the suit instituted by governorship aspirant Jimmy Lawal be remitted to the Federal High Court for a fresh trial. Justice Ibrahim Salawa, in a judgment in the appeal of the PDP, held that the Federal High Court was wrong in declining jurisdiction in the matter of Jimmy Lawal. The Supreme Court therefore ordered the case be remitted to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Tosho, in Abuja, for determination by another judge other than Justice Taiwo, who refused to entertain the suit. Justice Salawa, in his unanimous judgment by a 5-man panel of the Apex Court, ordered that the court must speedily hear the case of Lawal against Oladipo Adebutu and the PDP within time allowed by law. This is the news at dawn, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Southwest Nigeria. Now, our midnight message. It is only when everyone works hard that the nation can record a sustainable growth. Contribute your quota. Impeached Ekiti Speaker Honorable Bega Aribisoga has called on prominent indigenes to stop the looming political crisis in the state over what he described as undue interference in the election of the Speaker of the House. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, Honorable Aribisoga, who was elected Speaker only last week, alleged that some prominent personalities in the state were not happy with his emergence, saying they were plotting to kill him and other lawmakers that voted for him, and calling on the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Usman Akari, to intervene in the matter. 17 out of the 25 lawmakers impeached Aribisoga in the early hours of yesterday at the chamber, but he said his impeachment was illegal. Rivers State Governor Chief Nyesom Wike has pledged to support the presidential candidates of the new Nigerian People's Party (NNPP), Dr. Rabi Kwankwaso, with logistics for his campaign in Rivers State. Chief Wike, who invited the NNPP presidential candidate to inaugurate the Mbo-Tanwo internal road in Emuwa local government area of the state, said Kwankwaso is a friend and a man of integrity. To be recalled that Chief Wike last week also pledged to support the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dr. Peter Obi, with logistics for his campaign in the state, describing Obi as a man that had all the characteristics to lead Nigeria. An earthquake on the main Indonesian island of Java has killed at least 162 people and injured hundreds. According to U.S. Geological Survey data, the 5.6 magnitude quake struck Sinjua town in West Java at a shallow depth of 6 miles, with scores of people taken to hospital and many treated outside. Reports say rescuers were working into the night to try to save others thought to still be trapped under collapsed buildings, as the area where the quake struck is densely populated and prone to landslides, with poorly built houses reduced to rubble in many areas. Speaking to local media, Regional Governor Ridwan Kamil said some 326 people were injured in the quake, noting that most of them sustained fractures from being crushed in ruins, but he warned some residents remained trapped in isolated places. And to end the news at dawn, here again are the major points. The media past Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi said the achievement recorded by Governor Adegboyega Otola within 4 years of his first time will continue to be enduring legacies in the history as he sets the state on the path of socio-economic pedestal and sure footing. impeached Ekiti State Governor Boyega Aribishogan has called on prominent indigents to stop the looming political crisis in the state over what he described as undue interference in the election of the Speaker of the House. The crisis rocking the Ogun State chapter of the PDP has deepened with the Supreme Court dismissing an appeal filed before it on the nomination of the party's governorship candidate. An earthquake on the main Indonesian island of Java has killed at least 162 people and injured hundreds. And that was the news at dawn, edited by Latif Agbola and delivered by Olushola Ebodofo. News Talk today by guest writer Adwa Diamo is on the remembrance of the 19th century Yoruba policy of solidarity that enabled them to ward off external aggression.
The threats of insecurity in the country, which in the recent time heightened by the infiltration of bandits and members of extremist sects Boko Haram into the southwestern part of the country, called for bravery and solidarity by people in the geographical region to sustain the current peace in the geographical areas. It is important to note that the escapades by bandits and terrorists have resulted in wanton bloodlettings in the mid-belt, where farming activities have also been crippled and thousands are repeatedly rendered homeless. It should be recalled that the governor of each of the geopolitical zones had taken preventive measures by putting in place local security guards for intelligence gathering and citizenship arrest of criminals caught in the act. However, the effort by the governors will be a mirage if the people in various communities are complacent and lackadaisical to the security of their respective areas. For this reason, it is important for the people to unite in solidarity for prompt response to any aggressive movement capable of breaching the security in any part of the country. According to Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, solidarity means loyalty and general agreement between all the people in a group or between different groups because they all have a shared aim. This was demonstrated after the fall of Oyo Empire. By the mid-1860s, the glory and military might of old Oyo was taken over by Ibadan, a town beneath the hill. Ibadan, at that time, was a camp and conglomeration of warriors, some of who were Oluyole, Adelakun, Opeagbe, later joined by Ibikule, Ogumola, Ajayi, Ogboriefon, and many more. These war veterans always team up to fight external enemy. The first campaign of Ibadan warrior was against the army when Abeokuta was bombarded. Unity of purpose assisted Ibadan army against the chest-breasted Amazon of the army. Hence, the army was defeated, never to challenge Abeokuta again. Another solidarity effort by the Yorubas in the 19th century was displayed at the Battle of Oshogbo in 1840 against the Fulanis under their war leader Ali. Oshogbo was closely besieged and terrible battles were fought. When the king of Oshogbo found the Fulanis to be too strong for him, he sent to Ibadan for help. It devolved upon the Ibadan as defenders through solidarity to bail Oshogbo out. Ibadan later sent Alade, Abinopagun, and Mobitan, who were auxiliaries and warriors of fortune. It was a fierce battle, later won by Ibadan army through solidarity efforts with combined forces of Oshogbo. Mention must be made of another area of display of solidarity. This time, it was the Jalini War of 1870. The Fulanis, not satisfied with their defeat at Oshogbo, decided to invade another area of Yoruba land, so that the statement of Uthman Dan Fodio to dip his sword into the sea should materialize.
The news talk by guest writer Adwa Diamo was on the remembrance of the 19th century Yoruba policy of solidarity that enabled them to ward off external aggression. It was read by Dr. Olayiwola. For more about us, can visit www.osbcnj.org. Thanks for listening to the news at dawn. Good morning.
Ìròyìn ní kùtù àìrè o lórí rédíò Ọ̀ṣun. Ìròyìn ní kùtù àìrè o lórí rédíò Ọ̀ṣun. ìròyìn tó yí kóró ẹ̀kọ́ tó múnádóko la ní kí ẹ wá gbọ́ lórí rédíò Ọ̀ṣun.
ẹ kú ìdájí o, ìròyìn ní kùtù àì Mọ́jíbọ́lá Káyọ̀dé Ọ̀kẹ́ lóníròyìn yín. ṣáájú ẹgbọ́ kókó tó wà nínú ìròyìn náà. gómìnà Oyètọ́lá jẹ́jẹ́ láti tẹ̀síwájú nínú ṣíṣe àmúṣe ìlérí àsìkò ìpolongo ìbò. abẹnugan sílé aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì yọ nípò kẹ́gbàjarè pé ẹ̀mí òun kò dé. ilé ẹjọ́ tó ga jùlọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè pàṣẹ títún ẹjọ́ gbọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ òdíje fún ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP. làlúrí ilẹ̀ rírí gbẹ̀mí èèyàn 22 lẹ́rẹ́kùsù orílẹ̀‐èdè Indonesia. ìròyìn àárẹ̀ lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. gómìnà àná nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ọ̀mọ̀wé Káyọ̀dé Fáyẹmí ti sọ dínú pé ìtàn kò ní gbàgbé àwọn àṣeyọrí ìjọba gómìnà Adégbóyèga Oyètọ́lá láàrin ọdún mẹ́rin lọ́fíìsì, èyí tó ló ti ṣẹ́yìn fún ìdàgbàsókè ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti tòun amúlùúdùn. láti bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mélòó sẹ́yìn ní ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣíṣe àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ ojú ọ̀nà. àyẹ̀ ṣíṣe àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ òpópónà ọ̀hún ló gbé ọ̀mọ̀wé Fáyẹmí wá sílùú Òṣogbo ti ṣòlú ìlú ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ tí ọ̀mọ̀wé Fáyẹmí darí ayẹyẹ ṣíṣe rẹ̀ ní Òṣogbo sí Àgùnbọ́lẹ́wò lọ sí Ọ̀kílì Ìlóbù títí dé Ifọ̀ Ọ̀ṣun àti òpópónà Òṣogbo sí Kélébé lọ sí Ìrágbèjì. nígbà tó ń darí ayẹyẹ ọ̀hún, alága tẹ́lẹ̀ rí fún ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn gómìnà lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí yòǹbó gómìnà Oyètọ́lá fún bó ṣe ṣàmúṣe àwọn ìlérí àsìkò ìpolongo ìbò láìwo ti ọ̀dọ́ owó àwọn olókùn. ọ̀mọ̀wé Fáyẹmí tó ṣàpèjúwe gómìnà Oyètọ́lá bí ẹni táyé ń fẹ́ mẹ́nubà pé ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn ló ń ṣàwòkọ́ṣe rẹ̀ ní pàtàkì jùlọ àwọn akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀. nínú ọ̀rọ̀ gómìnà Adégbóyèga Oyètọ́lá ló ti tẹnumọ́ ìpinnu ìjọba rẹ̀ láti má ṣe káàárẹ̀ nídìí ìdàgbàsókè amúlùdùn nípìnlẹ̀ yìí, èyí tó ló jẹ́ ara akitiyan ìjọba òun láti sọ ìpínlẹ̀ yìí dìbà ìdáṣẹ́sílẹ̀ lọ́kùn ìpò òun orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. ṣáájú nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni káàbọ̀ rẹ̀, kọmíṣánná fọ̀rọ̀ sí òde àtètè ìrìnnà ẹnjìníà Rẹ̀mí Ọmọwáyé ṣàlàyé pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn lé àkànṣe iṣẹ́ náà nítorí pàtàkì rẹ̀ fẹ́tọ̀ ọrọ̀ ajé àti tòun amúlùdùn láàrin ti pé òpópónà ìjọba àpapọ̀ ni. ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń gbá sí ìdìbò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjókòó padà pẹ̀lú pípe àwọn ẹlẹ́rìí àkọ́kọ́ fún olùpẹ̀jọ́ kìíní àti ìkejì sọ fún ìgbìmọ̀ náà pé òun ṣàgbéyẹ̀wò lórí àkọsílẹ̀ nípa ẹ̀rọ tó ṣàfihàn ojúlówó olùdìbò bivas tájọ elétò ìdìbò náà fẹ́tò ìdìbò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ yìí tó wáyé lọ́jọ́ 16 oṣù keje ọdún yìí. ẹlẹ́rìí náà Isiaq Ọláníwájú sọ fún ìgbìmọ̀ náà pé àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ kan wà nínú èsì ìdìbò tájọ INEC fi kéde òdíje ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP sẹ́nitọ̀ Adémọ́lá Adélékè gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni táwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí dìbò yàn. ẹlẹ́rìí náà tí àgbẹ̀jọ agbẹjọ́rò fáwọn olùpẹ̀jọ́ olóyè Akin Olújìmí darí lọ síwájú ìgbìmọ̀ náà ní àwọn èlò ìdìbò bíi fọ́ọ̀mù ECHAS, ECHB, ECAC, ECAD, ECAT àti BVAS ló ń gbé ẹ̀rí òun lé lórí. agbẹjọ́rò fún sẹ́nẹ̀tọ̀ Adémọ́lá Adélékè Oyèchi Piazzu àti tẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP Alex Izion tako ìbéèrè sí ẹlẹ́rìí náà ṣáájú nígbìmọ̀ olùgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún ti fọwọ́ sí ìbéèrè agbẹjọ́rò fún gómìnà Oyètọ́lá nínú ètò ti béèrè fún ṣíṣàtúnṣe sí ìwé àkọsílẹ̀ àwọn ẹlẹ́rìí tó ti gbé síwájú ilé ẹjọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀. ìgbẹ́jọ́ náà ń tẹ̀síwájú lónìí. ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti fọwọ́ sí yíyan ọmọọba Adégbóyèga Fámúdùn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọwá tuntun sílùú Ìgbẹ́jọ níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Bolúwadúró. èyí jẹyọ nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan tí kọmíṣánná fétò ìròyìn àti ìtanijí arábìnrin Fúnkẹ́ Gbọ́mọdé fi síta. àrántí pé ipò ọwọ́ àti ìgbẹ́jọ́ ṣòfò lẹ́yìn ìpapòdà ọba Olúfẹ́mi Fáṣadé lọ́jọ́ 23 oṣù kejìlá ọdún 2020. ìdílé ọba ọwá òkè òde ló panupọ̀ fún ọmọọba Fámúdùn kalẹ̀ fún ipò ọwá lẹ́yìn ìpàdé kan tí wọ́n ṣe lọ́jọ́ 11 oṣù kọkànlá ọdún yìí. ṣáájú yíyan rẹ̀ fún ipò ọwá àti ìgbàjọ ni ọmọọba Adégbóyèga Fámúdùn ti jẹ́ alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC nípìnlẹ̀ yìí. ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti pàṣẹ fáwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ àtàwọn alátìlẹyìn ẹgbẹ́ náà láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwẹ̀ àti àdúrà fún àṣeyọrí ètò àtìgbà ìkúdà àkóso lọ́wọ́ ìjọba ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC lọ́jọ́ 27 oṣù yìí. Àtẹ̀jáde kan tálága ìgbìmọ̀ afúnṣe ẹgbẹ́ náà nípínlẹ̀ yìí Akíndélé Adékúnlé fi síta pàṣẹ fáwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ láti lọ gbàdúrà ní mọ́ṣáláṣí ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì àti ibùdó ìjọsìn kó wa wọn láti wá ojú rere Ọlọ́run fẹ́tò àti gbàkóso ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Ó rọ àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ láti gbà láàfíà láàyè. Bákan náà ló rọ ọ̀gá àgbà ọlọ́pàá nípínlẹ̀ yìí ọ̀gá àgbà ọlọ́pàá lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí láti tọpinpin bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ sí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Aáwọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tó ti gbilẹ̀ sí i ní báyìí tílé-ẹjọ́ tó ga jùlọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ti fọwọ́ rọ́ àrọwà kan tó wà níwájú rẹ̀ nípa ẹni tẹ́gbẹ́ òṣèlú náà fà kalẹ̀ lólùdíje fún ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ilé-ẹjọ́ tó ga jùlọ pàṣẹ kí ìwé ẹ̀sùn ọ̀hún sí ọ̀kan lára àwọn tó gbèrò láti díje fún ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Jìmílà wà gbé sí iwájú rẹ̀ padà sílé ẹjọ́ gíga àpapọ̀. Onídàájọ́ Ibrahim Suleiman ní ohun tí ilé ẹjọ́ gíga ṣe lórí ẹ̀sùn ọ̀hún kù díẹ̀ káàtó pẹ̀lú bó ṣe kùnà láti gbé ẹjọ́ náà. Ó wá pàṣẹ dídé ẹjọ́ ń padà síwájú adájọ́ àgbà ilé ẹjọ́ gíga àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ yìí onídàájọ́ John Soro láti gbé fún adájọ́ míì yàtọ̀ sí onídàájọ́ Táíwò tó kùnà láti gbé ẹ̀sùn náà tẹ́lẹ̀. Onídàájọ́ Sàláwù pàṣẹ kí ìgbẹ́jọ́ wáyé lórí ẹ̀sùn tí làwọn àpè tako Ọládipúpọ̀ Adébútú àti ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP. Ilé Àwíyé Òkè-Bálẹ̀ Òṣogbo alárè ìwọ̀ oòrùn ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà láti ròyìn láti iléeṣẹ́ rédíò Ọ̀ṣun. Ẹgbẹ́ iṣẹ́ pàtàkì tà ní fún yín iṣẹ́ lóògùn iṣẹ́ ní sọ ní di ẹni gíga ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹpá mọ́ṣẹ́ ká lè jàre iṣẹ́. Abẹnugbẹ́tílẹ̀ aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì yọ nípò Ọ̀rẹ́bù Gbóyèga Àríbísógán tí wọ́n àwọn ìkọ́mọ ibi ìpínlẹ̀ náà láti dìde sí aáwọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ka ètò òṣèlú ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún. Nígbà tó ń bá wọn nínú ìsọ̀rọ̀ l'Àbújá Ọ̀rẹ́bù Àríbísógán tí lẹ́yìn sípò abẹnugan lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá fẹ̀sùn kàn pé inú àwọn kan nípìnlẹ̀ náà kò dùn sí bí lè ṣe yan òun èyí tó ló mú kí wọ́n máa lépa ẹ̀mí òun àti tàwọn aṣòfin tó dìbò yan òun. Ó wá rọ ọ̀gá àgbà ọlọ́pàá lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí láti dá sọ̀rọ̀ náà. 17 lára àpapọ̀ ọmọ ilé 25 ló yọ Àríbísógán nípò lọ́wọ́ àárọ̀ àná ṣùgbọ́n tó ní ọ̀nà tí wọ́n gbà yọ òun kò bófin mu. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers Nyesom Wike ti ṣèlérí àtìlẹ́yìn fún òdíje ipò ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ní Nigerian People's Party Honorable Kwankwaso Olóyè Wike tó fìwé pé òdíje ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú NPP láti wá ṣe àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ kan nípínlẹ̀ Rivers ṣàlàyé pé ọ̀rẹ́ akẹni tó ṣe fọkàn tán ní Kwankwaso jẹ́. Ààrẹ tí pé lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá ní Wike fìdí àtìlẹ́yìn rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ fólùdíje ipò ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Labour ọ̀mọ̀wé Peter Obi láti bí oṣù mélòó sẹ́yìn ní nǹkan kò tí rọgbọ nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP pẹ̀lú bí Wike àtàwọn gómìnà tí wọ́n jọ wà nínú ikọ̀ G5 ṣe ní kí alága àpapọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ náà sẹ́nitọ̀ Iyorchia Ayu kò ipò sílẹ̀ lórí àwíjàre pé kò yẹ kí alága ẹgbẹ́ àtòlùdíje fúnpò ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ náà wá láti ẹkùn kan náà. Lálínú rẹ̀ nínú tó ṣọṣẹ́ ní erékùṣù Java lórílẹ̀‐èdè Indonesia ti gbẹ̀mí èèyàn 162 nígbà tọ́pọ̀ èèyàn farapa. Ìròyìn fi ẹni pé kwado ìlẹ̀mí ṣì wà lójú iṣẹ́ láti dóòlà àwọn tó wá nínú ilẹ̀. Nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ gómìnà ẹkùn tí làlúrí ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ọ̀hún Ridwan Kanu ṣàlàyé pé èèyàn 1,306 ló farapa. Ǹjẹ́ ká tó mú ìròyìn ní kùtù àwásòpin kókó ńlá mẹ́nuwà rí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Gómìnà àná nípìnlẹ̀ Èkìtì Ọ̀mọ̀wé Káyọ̀dé Fáyemí ti ní ìtàn kò ní gbàgbé àwọn àṣeyọrí ìjọba gómìnà Adégbóyèga Oyètọ́lá nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Abẹnugan tí aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Àgámọ́lòdì Ọ̀rẹ́bù Gbóyèga Àríbísógán tí wọ́n àwọn ìkọ́mọ orí ìpínlẹ̀ náà láti dìde sí làásìgbò tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ka ètò ìṣèlú ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún. Aáwọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tó ti gbilẹ̀ sí ní báyìí tílé ẹjọ́ tó ga jùlọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ti fi rọ́rọ́ àrọwà tó wà níwájú rẹ̀ nípa ẹni tẹ́gbẹ́ náà fà kalẹ̀ lólùdíje ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Wà lórí ilẹ̀ líle tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Indonesia ti gbẹ̀mí èèyàn 162 nígbà tọ́pọ̀ èèyàn farapa. Èyí lọ́kùnrin ní kùtù Lateef Agboola lóòtú Mojíbọ́lá Káyọ̀dé Ọ̀kẹ́ ló mú wá sétí gbọ̀nyìn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí àkó àjíòdì.